The terrace has advanced a ladder and front railing are now in place, making the structure noticeably safer. From here, she shifts to a new goal, turning the space beneath the deck into something useful. Short bamboo pieces are measured cut and set together in the low area beneath the deck edge. Through these details, it becomes clear that she is shaping a simple cooking corner separate from the resting space above. Row by row, the low bamboo fencing closes into a small enclosure that can block wind and define the stove area. That change pushes the shelter beyond simple cover and turns it into a place with clearer, everyday functions. She keeps closing gaps, straightening the edges and retightening anything that feels loose. It is not the flashiest stage, but these steady finishing steps are what make the cooking corner look tidy, clean, and truly usable. The video now spends more time on wider views, so the viewer can see the relationship between the main hut, the added deck, and the newly enclosed low cooking area. The layout is clear now. The upper level is for resting, and the lower corner is for cooking. Once the last details are adjusted, the whole front of the shelter looks much sturdier than it did at the beginning. This is an important stretch because she adds a rectangular frame above the low cooking corner like a finishing cover. That single change makes the underside feel less raw and gives the kitchen area a much clearer form. More cross pieces are tied into place while the front platform is cleared for cooking. The mood is no longer about finishing just to be done. It is about refining the shelter until it feels good enough and practical enough to live with. As the meat is cut and threaded onto bamboo skewers, the reward for the day's labor starts to appear. It is a strong storytelling turn because the shelter suddenly shifts from being a structure to being a place where a real meal can happen. Fire is lit inside the newly enclosed cooking corner, and smoke begins to curl around the skewers of meat. This is the moment that proves the lower nook is not decoration at all, but a functional part of the shelter. When she sits inside the hut to eat, the entire structure changes roles at once from a work site into a place of rest. That meal inside the newly refined bamboo shelter becomes the clearest payoff in the whole sequence. The woman returns to the bamboo shelter in the forest where the main hut is already standing. Today the goal is no longer to build a new shelter from nothing, but to widen the front platform so the place can be used more comfortably. She moves down the slope, pulls material from the undergrowth, and studies the ground around the hut. These early movements show careful planning because the front extension has to connect with the older structure without upsetting the balance of the whole build. One bamboo pole after another is dragged back and sorted by size. It may not be the most dramatic part on screen, but this preparation decides whether the new platform will be durable or only look good for a moment. As she begins cutting and trimming the bamboo ends, the pace turns slower and heavier. Every strike reduces error, so the poles can later fit together cleanly once they are lifted into the platform and the front frame. Bamboo is technically a woody grass. Its hollow, segmented structure keeps it light for its size, while still giving it an excellent strength-to-weight ratio, which is why it works so well for platforms, frames, and outdoor screens. The first upright posts for the new front section begin to appear, signaling that the work has moved from preparation into real installation. From here, the direction of the project becomes visible. The hut is gaining another layer of living space in front. She keeps adjusting the height, checking the spacing between the posts, and clearing the deck for more detailed work. The area still feels open, but the extension is already starting to read as a usable bamboo terrace rather than a loose work zone. In the next phase, the bamboo is split into thinner strips and laid across the deck like material waiting to become larger panels. This is where the video shifts from structure to surface and the build starts changing in a way the viewer can immediately see. Woven bamboo panels are raised one section at a time, serving both as screens and as boundaries for the new terrace. After only a few steps, the once open platform begins to feel more private and much more intentional. She ties, adjusts, and repositions the screens until their lines match the posts and the deck edge. This stage is visually satisfying because every added panel makes the structure look noticeably more finished right away. The terrace continues to fill with woven bamboo sections, creating just enough cover to reduce the emptiness while still keeping the space breathable. Instead of making the structure feel heavy, the added screening makes it feel more like a place that is being cared for. After the heavy work, the paste softens with a moment of washing and cooling down in the forest. It does more than show fatigue. It also gives the video a gentle breath before the final finishing phase begins. If you enjoy this kind of shelter building, outdoor cooking, and quiet forest living, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment to support the next journey.